Hi everyone, we're going to use Scratch with the Makey Makey. In this activity we're going to use the Makey Makey, and when we press on the Play-Doh we're going to hear different sounds that I'm going to control using the Scratch programming tool. So Scratch is available to everyone, it's free. If you don't have an account, I would highly encourage you to join Scratch, create a username, password. You'll also need a parent's email address, and if you're under 13. If you don't want to join Scratch, I made an account that you can just use in class. So we're going to sign in. The website is scratch.mit.edu. And the username is going to be DCP Scratch, SCRATCH. And the password is Scratch DCP. So DCP Scratch, and password is Scratch DCP. Sign in. And once you get into Scratch, there's a lot of things you can do. Under tips, you can start an online tutorial, and it'll show you step by step on how to create different applications. It has a bunch of tutorials under tips. For our case, we're going to just go straight to create. And when we go into create, we're going to basically tell Scratch when I hit the space bar or right arrow, left arrow, up, down arrow, it's going to play a sound. And there's a sound bank that we can choose from. So as soon as it comes up, we can start doing that. Just want to remind you that we have, this is what we have set up so far, where the Makey Makey is attached. The up, down, left, right, spacebar keys are all attached to Play-Doh, and you have a ground wire as well. Okay, so here we are, we're inside the create function. First thing you want to do is here on this, they call it a sprite. With two fingers, click on that, and let's just delete it. And what we can do here is under in this function, we're going to create some events, and some of the events are going to be when the spacebar key is pressed, we're going to do something, and it has something for each one. So when up arrow instead of the spacebar. So what I did was there's a little arrow next to the spacebar that points down, so it can select other keys. So I'm going to say when up arrow key is pressed, do something. I'm going to drag this one out and change it to this one to down arrow. And again, I'm holding the key down and I'm dragging it. For this one, we're going to go right arrow. And the last one is going to be left arrow. Again, there's a little arrow, a little down, a selection thing you can pick, and we're going to pick right arrow. So when any of these are pressed, different ones, we're going to play different sounds. Now, one thing you can do here right away is where it says untitled, you can just put in your name. So I'm going to put Mrs. Sheet. Just to save it under that name. So under sounds, we want to go collect or find some sounds that we want to use, and there's a huge sound bank that you can pick. And I'm just going to pick some of these. You can listen to them, and there's cheer. This one's pretty good, coughing. There's a dance around. And there's a bunch of other ones. You can see there's so many. So anyways, I'm going to just pick some of these. And the way you pick them is you double click on it. So I'll just double click on some of these, and it adds it on here. So again, you click on this. You can listen to these and select which one you like. So I'm just going to double click on some of these. I'll pick 6. This one sounds good. Beatbox. I don't know what that is. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that was under sounds. Now I'm going to go back to scripts. And under scripts, I'm going to click on this sound key right here. And under that, there's this thing here that says play sound. So I'm going to go over here and drag this and connect it. And I'll need one for each of my keys. There we go. And for each one, I'm going to pick a sound. So those are the sounds that I double clicked on. Here they are here. So I'll just pick on some of these. Play sound. Again, there's a little drop down. So there's 5 sounds. Maybe 6. Oh no, there's okay. And then there we go. So that's all set up. Now the idea here is now when I go to the Makey Makey and I hold my ground, which is what I'm doing, and I touch the Play-Doh, looks like it's working. And so you may need to click on this flag, but otherwise I'm going to... So I'm touching the Play-Doh. And there you have it. So have fun with that. And that's basically how you set up your keys when you're working with this with Scratch. We're going to use this method another way. But so basically you just go into Events. You drag this out 5 or 6 times depending on what you want. You change the value instead of space. You need space, up arrow, down arrow, right arrow, left arrow. Go into sounds. Double click on 5 or 6 of these choices. And then when you go back to scripts, under this sound, you want to drag this one. It says play sound underneath each one of these. And from there, you'll have a option to pick the different sounds that you double clicked on. This green flag generally, it starts off the application, so if you click on that, that's a good idea. Then you just hold the ground wire. Let me bring that back up. You hold that ground wire and then you touch the different Play-Doh balls that are connected to the different keys. Each one of these is connected to an arrow key and a space bar. And when you touch that, you'll hear the sounds coming out of that you selected in your Scratch programming. Okay, hope this helps, and we'll do something else the next day, so have fun with that.